Alrighty then, on this hot and thankful for rain day on the South Carolina coast at the Marshmallows, I am gonna make shrimp Creole, just to give you an idea as to the size of the shrimp. This is not a jumbo, this is a large. And this is a local South Carolina fresh caught shrimp this morning. So that is what I'll be using. I'll be peeling them, putting it into a pot. There's some little onion pieces in there. And I'll be pouring some water on that to make a shrimp stock. Instead of adding water, I can add something flavorful. If you don't want to do that, you can add some vegetable stock. So all I've got is 2 cups of onions, 1 cup of red and green pepper, and 1 cup of chopped celery, and of course some garlic, but I don't put that in to saute my vegetables or it will burn too fast. So this is dead easy. So you do something important and productive, and I'm gonna peel my shrimp, yeah. Oh yeah. So here are my shrimp shells. If you get shrimps with heads, you can certainly put those in there. And I've got 2 bay leaves in there as well, and they are so fragrant. So I'm gonna bring this to a boil, then I'm gonna let it simmer at least 1 hour. And then I'll strain that through a sieve for when I need to add some water to our shrimp Creole mix. This is the easiest recipe in the world. I'll be sauteing the onion, celery, bell pepper in 2 sticks of butter. So it's been requested that I not use, for people who don't can, my own tomato sauce, those types of things. So I'm gonna use a small tomato paste. I love these tomatoes. So this is a 20-ounce can of diced tomatoes. I'm gonna use my immersion blender, and I'm going to, right, so I can get them all smooth, because I can my own crushed tomatoes, and that's generally what I use. Instead of my own Cajun season, I'm gonna use some Tony Chacheray. I've got to have some sugar because of these, I call them commercial tomatoes. I'm gonna use some of my own parsley that we grow and dehydrate and put in an old container of parsley, black pepper, and chili powder. So this is a never fail thing. I've already got my rice made, so let's put our shrimp Creole together. And our shrimp shells with the bay leaves is now at a boil, so I'm gonna turn it down to low. I may have to put it on my, I call it a heat lifter. Lifts my pot up, because I'm gonna have that go for an hour. All right, now we should have enough. Oh yeah, we got a little something, something. So Fred the fan is going, and my hood fan is also going, so you have a little bit of racket. But as I always say, you be all right. I'm not fixing to set off my smoke alarm. And it helps to remove the humidity and the moisture from the air. I also like this because it doesn't make a big mess. If you have a little Vidalia onion chopper, you can use it to get your bell peppers, onion, and celery uniform shapes. And that is not hard to clean. And I'm gonna get these sauteing. I am not going to be adding my garlic until these are tender, almost translucent. Then I'll add my garlic, and then we're gonna add about a 1/3 cup of flour to get ourselves a slight roux and a way to tighten up that butter. I'll bring you back when something exciting happens. I ended up with 3 cups when I used my immersion blender for the can of commercial diced tomatoes. And I certainly understand people who don't can and they want this type recipe without the canned goods. But I love my own home canned tomato sauce and my tomato juice. I also don't season those, but they're either tomatoes that we grow, and if we don't, excuse my racket, and if we don't have enough for a big canning session, then I'll buy some from my local farmer's market. So, but my own tomato sauce is so thick and so rich that I'm gonna miss that in this. To give you an idea what it looked like after the immersion blender, it's still not as rich in flavor as my own and as tomatoey. So we are sauteing away, and I choose, as many of you know, I like to add my spices or my herbs when onto my vegetables. This is just black pepper. I won't be adding my Cajun seasoning, but I will be adding my own dehydrated parsley. I love doing this when I make jambalaya and get it on the rice as I'm toasting the rice. So we're just gonna do our black pepper, and I'm gonna do a little bit of thyme. That was our parsley. Not everyone loves thyme. You do not have to add it. But as a Cajun, I gotta have that. I grow my own thyme, and then I dehydrate it. It's gorgeous. And then I pinch it, and then I add it. And you can save all your spice jars if you choose to grow or buy fresh ones at a farmer's market, dehydrate it, and then chop it up in your coffee grinder. Alrighty then, our vegetables are where I want them, and you notice they've really cooked down. So all I'm gonna do, and I have not added my garlic yet, I'm just gonna slide these over, put in my 1/3 cup of flour over here on the side, and get it jiggling around a little bit. And these vegetables are delicious, and even the shrimp shells boiling away over there. Oh, they smell so good. And all I did was put enough water to cover those shells. And every once in a while I do stir them so a tail doesn't stick on the side of the pot. All right, now we're gonna wiggle it in here. There's a lot of our butter liquid. And you'll see it pulls it together very nicely. And then we're gonna add our garlic. There is nothing worse than the flavor of burned garlic in the backdrop of something like this, and you will taste it. Oh, that is nice, because this is hecka hot. So, let's take our little container of minced garlic. It's got a little oil in it, because I buy the minced kind in a jar. Let's just get it hot in these vegetables. Oh, that is a beautiful smell. Look at what that flour did. That is nice. So we're gonna stir, 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 because our garlic is there. And then we are gonna pour in our commercial diced large can of diced tomatoes that I use my immersion blender in. And that's another reason I need my fan on. So let's get these going. Kerplop. That was not an exciting sound. I'm gonna incorporate this slowly, and then I'll come back. So my shrimp shells have been boiling away about 45 minutes, and that's ample time for me to be able to strain it to use for my liquid instead of water. Let's get our tomato paste in here. One little can. I cannot make tomato paste without burning it, so I buy small cans of tomato paste. If you ever need just like a teaspoon or a small amount, they make tomato paste in a tube that after opening it and squeezing out the amount you want, you then just put it in your refrigerator, and I really like that. Oh, this is hot like molten lava. Stir that around. Then I'm going to get my sieve so we can pour in some of our shrimp stock in place of water. Here we are, and we're going to dribble in some of our shrimp stock through your basic sieve. Wow, it smells good. Give you an idea of the color of it, much more flavor than just water. There's no need to have to use cheesecloth or anything. And then of course I put this sieve in the top of my dishwasher. Ain't nobody got time for contamination, but thank you. Let's see, oops. just loosen this up because this is going to sit here and simmer about an hour, and you do have to stir it because it's quite thick. I did add half a teaspoon of Tony Chacheray. To it because people want to use a commercial product. Emerald's Seafood Magic is also good. I do not like Old Bay. It just overpowers. I know many of you just clutched your pearls if you had them. It just overpowers everything to taste like Old Bay. So I'm a Cajun, so I need my cayenne, my black pepper, my white pepper, my thyme, those type things. So this is not loose enough for me. So I'm going to put some more dribbles. If you end up with any shrimp stock left over, you can pour it into ice cube trays and freeze it just like I do when I have leftover chicken or beef broth or tomato sauce when I'm canning and I don't want to run a canner with like 1 pint in it or something. And the difference in these shells color is amazing. Now they're pink, just like when you cook it at home. My shrimp were so large, I cut them in half. And I generally do that because we eat this with a spoon and rice. And I don't like a huge thing of shrimp in something like that. I do the same thing in a gumbo as well. All right, now this has got a nice looseness. So now this is going down to low, and about every 10 minutes I'm going to check this because I do not want this sticking on the bottom. That ain't going to happen. And with this big cast iron pot, I generally do not have that happen, but just like when I can, I ain't going far. And I think Prep For It shortly has a premiere of her going from harvesting elderberries in her yard to making elderberry syrup. So I don't want to miss that. So that'll let me sit right there in my recliner and watch that. And she has a fantastic channel, and that's Tasha of Prep For It. And my God, she's been producing green bell peppers and eggplants in her garden that absolutely look like art. They're so beautiful. All right, so I'm going to put a cattywampus lid on this. I may have to have Vern, who has not done Husband Interrupt Us in a hot minute, move this up on a pot lifter for me, but we'll see. All right, Shrimp Creole, it's underway. Alrighty then, this has been here for about an hour and 45 minutes, and now I'm going to put in my large shrimp that I had cut in half, and I'm going to let whatever juice is at the bottom also go in there because it's so yummy. It is still just on low, and it is on a simmer mat that raises it up so it doesn't get so hot. You're gonna think, oh, there should have been enough more shrimp. Perfect amount. And it will cook, shrimp cook very, very quickly just from the heat. And I probably stirred it every 15 minutes. Every time Vern came in, he'd stir for me. And I have a total of 2 teaspoons of Tony Chacheray seafood seasoning in here. And I have 2 cups of my shrimp shell stock left. So I'm going to put that, pour it into an ice cube tray, freeze it, and put it in a Ziploc bag because maybe the next seafood dish I make needs some water. And if I'm not using shrimp, I'm going to use that in place of it. But other than that, whenever I peel shrimp, I boil them. All right, so I'm going to let this sit here in this heat, wait for the shrimp to cook and all this tomato goodness and vegetables. And I'll show you how fabulous it is. I'm just going to do a little tasting of it on a little rice. Ooh, I love this. So there is Vern's plate for later. And what I'll do is I'll cover that with some wax paper, put it in the refrigerator, and I'm going to do a little sample because I'm not starving right now. Oh, yeah. That is great. I still prefer my own tomato juice and tomato paste in this. And of course, I'm from Louisiana. We are white rice eating people. Even without taking it, biting it or tasting it, without a shrimp, that has the taste of shrimp from that shrimp stock. And here is my ice cube tray. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 makes 1 cup. The next time I make a gumbo, when I need to add water, I'll add my shrimp stock. Now let's try shrimp. So fat. That is a beautiful thing. Alrighty. Shrimp Creole, not using home canned goods. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm nothing but a mouse. It is delicious. It freezes brilliantly. But that's the bowl Vern likes and how he likes it served. So he gets what he wants, because he's Vern. And I ain't been married for nothing for 40 years because I'm stupid. Right? I know how to keep him happy. He likes that, he gets that. Hope you have a great one.